Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2018 Annual Meeting Program Planning Committee Co-Chair, Berkeley Ahrens.
Good morning and welcome to our final day. What a fantastic night last night. Wasn't Billy Gardell hysterical? Did you enjoy him? Once again, I'd like to thank Northwestern Mutual for providing last night's dinner. Today is our day on the Hill. When you're on the Hill, if you have any questions, need any information, please go to 101 Constitution. Staff will be there to help you. And now for a very special presentation, will you please welcome Hart to the stage.
Well, this may be a first, because this is going to be an aqua toast, since they weren't in a position to serve wine for us at this hour of the morning. That they didn't figure that was going to be fair to the various speakers that we were going to have today. So we have had a tradition of saluting with a toast our outgoing president, or president, actually he's still a president, I think, through today or tomorrow or whatever it is. So, raise your glasses on high in a toast to our David, so broad, smiling, and passionate as our 33-year leader of AALU. Raise your glasses on high in a toast to our rich, so broad, smiling, and dynamic as our president. We wish both long life and much happiness, a lifetime of joy and of great success. We all pledge our love in support of theirs and pray for God's blessings to guide them. Raise your glasses on high in a toast to them both, with our wish for long life and good health. With our wish for long life and good health. I'm going to make all of you stand up now, because the finest tribute we can give to our troops around the world that make it possible for us to have meetings like this is the third verse of the Star-Spangled Banner. If you know it, sing it along with me. If you don't, listen to the words. They are absolutely fabulous. Oh, thus be it ere when freemen shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. And if conquer we must, when our cause it is just, let this be our motto: in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Thank you, Hart. And now I would like to introduce AALU past president Mark Murphy.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to see everyone here this morning. Today we'd like to open up with our most prestigious award. The Gerald H. Sherman Award was created to honor members of AALU who have gone above and beyond their service to the life insurance profession. And our award recipient is no stranger to the AALU stage. I'm honored to introduce my friend, my business partner, my general agent, Nat Perlmutter. But let me start with a minute with a couple of Natisms that he can explain to you during the break. The harder you hug them, the harder you can kick them. Don't be a GOMO, which stands for going through the motions. And also, legend has it that if he's unhappy with your effort, he will put a can of Goya beans on your desk. And I understand that the word Goya means get off your ass. So, but my favorite Natism is New York Direct. New York Direct means it's not about being right, it's about getting it right, and then knowing that you're right. Nat is a disruptor. In a world that has become far too politically correct, he was able to slay many of AALU's sacred cows. He encouraged entrepreneurial thinking and stopped tolerating anything that didn't advance our mission. During his time on the board and as president, AALU saw unprecedented growth in membership, LCP contributions, but most importantly, we went from having a couple of relationships on Capitol Hill to relationships all over the Hill. His work with Chuck Schumer and possible future Speaker Crowley became the beacon of what we are today and what we can become in the future. Nat's unique ability was to make the impossible seem possible and to get a board of alpha dogs from every carrier and every producer group not to realize how hard they were working because they were having so much fun and doing such meaningful work. As he said so many times, it's a team sport. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce a man who embodies the work and the spirit of Jerry Sherman, Nat Perlmutter. Nat, before you get started. There you go. This doesn't break like the other one.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mark. I was very fortunate to work with Jerry in my early days on the board. What I remember most about Jerry was how much he loved the life insurance business and how much he loved AALU. Jerry was such a pleasure to be around. He was a guiding presence, a mentor, and a very funny guy. He had a dry wit that made it so easy and enjoyable working with him, even when you did not like the response you were getting. I cherish learning the history of AALU from someone who was here from our humble beginnings. He helped guide us to where we are today. The best thing I appreciated most about Jerry was the tremendous impact he made. His work continues to be a positive impact on everyone in the life insurance industry to this day. That's what I tried to do throughout my AALU experience. Working together with great members, a terrific staff, great counsel, and our wonderful corporate members. I tried to do my part to make a positive contribution that would have made Jerry proud. I'm honored to receive this award that carries his name. Thank you.
Thank you, Nat, and congratulations. It's now my honor to introduce AALU's president, David Byers. Kill it. Let's kill it.
Good morning. Thank you for being here for one of my favorite days of the year, when AALU members go to the Hill en masse to promote and protect the interests of our clients and our business. Rich DeVita has done an outstanding job chairing your board of directors for the past year, and it will be an honor for me as your new president to help build on all the achievements that he outlined on Sunday. You know, from the time I made a mid-career entry into the insurance business, my partners told me that AALU was the premier industry organization, the one that I needed to join and support. So I enthusiastically joined, but I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I weakly supported. But that was until 2005. In 2005, President George W. Bush and the Republican Congress were set to permanently repeal the estate tax, thereby creating a planning crisis for clients when it would be reenacted inevitably by Democrats and destroying our business. The Senate was one vote away from repeal. Then Hurricane Katrina's Category 5 winds hit New Orleans and the coast of Mississippi, creating devastation of then historical proportions. One Louisiana senator, who was now unable to vote with repeal interests over hurricane reconstruction costs, declined to vote for the GOP package. You know, it was at that point that I fully realized I could not spend my career waiting for somebody else to fight and silently approving of natural disasters because they preserved my business. Fighting bad tax law was simply part of my business, not an option, I realized. I had to not just join, but to support aggressively. That began for me with today's work, going to the Hill, and it grew from there. It grew all the way to last year's tax reform fight, to working every day last year with Rich DeVita and your advocacy machine at AALU. Now, just a quick aside. From the beginning, my business partners, John Carter and Will Worrell, both AALU members, have been 100% supportive in my AALU efforts, picking up what I'm sure has been a lot of slack at the office over the years. So thank you, guys. And thank you to Wes Thompson and all of my colleagues at M Financial. They've encouraged and supported me from day one to be involved in AALU, and they were particularly important to our efforts in tax reform last year. And my wife, Karen, has begrudged not 1 hour nor $1 that I've committed, understanding that the success of AALU is critical to the success of my business. She's given nothing but support, and we all know that our spouse's support is critical to our own. So thank you, Kay. Now back to the story. How did my involvement in AALU grow? Well, not how you would expect. I attended the annual meeting, I went to the Hill, I gave politically. In 2008, I joined the AALU board. Soon after, we decided that each board member would adopt a member of Congress, a member who was important to our business. Past President Mark Murphy, just on the stage, was up at the easel walking down the names. He got to Mitch McConnell, but no board member and no AALU member lived in Kentucky. Byers, aren't you from around there? Murphy asked. Well, I replied, not really. There's actually a state between Alabama and Kentucky. It's called Tennessee. Close enough, he answered. Well, at least Kentucky's in the SEC, I thought. So McConnell and I will have something to talk about. That was the beginning of the ambassador program. Turns out that McConnell is no great fan of Kentucky, and his love, UK's arch rival Louisville, is in the ACC, not in the SEC. I found all that out the hard way from McConnell. But now I'm a Louisville expert. And I did get better, though, and our relationship grew. And over the last decade, we've built a relationship of trust. And it's been fun, meaningful, and valuable to AALU. But you know, here's the truth. Anybody can do that. All it takes is raising your hand to say, I'll help. Put me in, coach. And AALU staff will show you exactly what to do. And I'll tell you this, if only half the people in this room did that, we would never have another legislative threat in D.C. Today, you'll hear more about how we were successful during tax reform. But now I want to spend a minute or two to talk about the future. Coming out of tax reform, we knew one thing for sure. We couldn't get good results again the same way. When David Sturtzer started, as you heard yesterday, AALU was 3 or 4, depending on who's telling the story, people and a file cabinet with little carrier interaction. Since then, we've grown to a community of thousands who make a real impact in D.C. We have over 40 carriers as Issues Alliance partners. So thank you, David. And thank you, past presidents, past board members, and even longtime members. What you have built is remarkable and has benefited all of us. But your board knows that it's time to change again. We have been good, but we must get bigger, stronger, faster. We must get better. 2 years ago, after more than 3 decades of leading AALU, David began a transition of leadership by naming Mark Caden to be the Chief Operating Officer of AALU. David and the board realized that in getting to the next level, it was time now to complete the transition. So with David as his executive advisor, Mark will become AALU's CEO in September. Mark is going to join me on stage in just a moment. And you know Mark. Let me say a few words, though, before he comes. Before he became COO, Mark worked in a variety of capacities for AALU, including heading our government affairs group. In partnership with David, the board, and the AALU team, Mark was instrumental in building AALU's lobbying strategies, AALU's Issues Alliance program, and our alignment with sister organizations. Mark well knows the legislative process, and he's built a collection of critical relationships on the Hill for AALU. As a graduate of Villanova, I can tell you that Mark has more than just a little pride in being the NCAA basketball champion 2 out of the last 3 years. As an Alabama football fan, I know a little of that feeling. I'm looking forward to working with Mark this next year. It is an honor to be up here and serve as your president. So thank you for that honor. So now I want to kick off another exciting period of growth and transformation for AALU by introducing your future CEO, Mark Caden. Mark, please join me on stage.